Here we go. Brendan's already in chat. Welcome in, Brendan. Welcome in, everybody. Joe and Mike here with you on this Monday edition of the Joe Quills Show. Mike, thank you for making the trek yet again.
Victory!
Yeah, at least, well, Jameis Winston, he couldn't eat the W this week.
right.
Remember when he said that when he was with, I think, was it when they were doing the Hard Knocks with the Tampa Bay Bucks or something? It was like eat the W or something.
Oh, that sounds about great.
But you know, but but with that loss, those in the New York area do not get crab legs for free. Just Jameis Winston because he likes to steal that shit.
You did.
But anyways, got a lot to talk about here tonight. I'm going to be talking a lot of the Eagles early on here. I was on the Action Lab Sports show last night for the second half of the Eagles game. I'll give you some thoughts on the Eagles game. Eagles won 16-9. A lot of weird stuff in that game, and also apparently, as I titled this show, a rift in the Eagles locker room. And this is, and I'll just let you know right now, it's not that pansy Elliott Shore Parks that mentioned us. It's a reputable source. So I'll just leave it at that right now for those that haven't heard about this yet. But we'll keep, it's kind of like keeping a Pollock in suspense. You just continue. So, Jamar Chase got suspended, rightfully so.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
it was.
I'll also tell you like some of the things I said. I think I shared. I don't think I said much about this on Action Lab last night, or I might have. The thing is, I can't remember half the stuff I say. But I do remember that it's always good to give an amputee a prosthetic leg for Christmas because it's a great stocking stuffer. The holiday jokes have started, people.
Here we go.
So I saw that pop up on my Instagram, and I was like, "Yes, I got to use that."
That's fine.
So, Jamar Chase got suspended. We'll veer to the college game for a minute because Virginia Tech is a new head coach, and he's going to have to get used to hearing Enter Sandman.
That's true.
Have you ever seen the Virginia Tech openings when they come out onto the field?
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the radio tonight, and then playing. I'm like, wow.
If you go into a YouTube hole like I do from time to time, you can really get into I want to see this opening. I want to see this one. And, it's interesting stuff. And they even did and Metallica even did a concert, I think earlier this year they were in concert. Yeah, it was earlier this year because I talked to Jerry. I was like, because we were doing some, we were putting up his pool for the season or some shit. I don't know. I was like, you want to go to Metallica? And the way my seating is, the way I am with seats and all that, I'm like, I don't care if I'm like the very top row of Lincoln Financial Field.
Right.
I mean, I'm young enough still that I can climb all those stairs. But, I don't need to be on the field.
Gotcha.
Because they were at Lincoln Financial Field.
Right.
I don't need to be at Lincoln Financial Field getting sweated on by all the guys in the band.
Right.
I'm happy with being right there at the top of the upper deck.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And because the other thing is with concerts, the one thing I like to do when I get concert tickets, especially if I do it on time, Mickey's here as well. Welcome in, Mickey. He's watching on YouTube.
Well, hello to you too, Mickey.
I'm not a jackass.
He's an asshole.
Let's get it straight. Let's get it straight.
So, the way I like to get tickets for concerts,
Mhm.
and Jerry saw this when I got the Elton John tickets. What I like to do is, even if we're in the upper deck, like we were at Citizens Bank Park. No, it wasn't Elton John. It was the Who.
Okay. Who?
That reminds me. I had a Who's on First, What's on Second that was more geared towards Chinese people. I had that on Insta. I had that on the Insta stories.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. That
So-
was funny. Yeah.
So the one thing I like to do is I like to be, even if I'm 350 feet away,
Mhm.
because the sound is pretty good at Citizens Bank Park and all that. So, I like to be looking straight down like I'm the evil dictator, like, or
Right.
stuff like that. But I prefer to be looking like that instead of being on the side like we were with Iron Maiden at one time. But even that wasn't that bad because it was like right at the edge of the stage,
Okay.
edge of the stage with like half a section over.
Right.
But but that's things that we do. I'm like got to be in certain areas. So we'll talk about that. We won't talk about that, but we'll talk about the new head coach at Virginia Tech. I know you know some of you may know who it is, but if you've been living under a rock, can you smell the rocks? Seriously, no. But if you're living under a rock, I'll help you out with that.
Okay.
Shadeur Sanders. It's a bug right here. Damn it.
What are you gonna do with him?
Oh wait, I gotta talk. That's right.
Oh, hold on 1 second. I clicked it. Okay, I got that.
And then Shadeur Sanders had an epically bad day, both on the field and off. I'll tell you about that too, because he's the latest athlete that had something happen yesterday, but in some ways I feel like it's something that kind of can't be prevented, even though it can. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into all that. Anything else that pops up and stuff like that. So, and oh, by the way, your boy went 5-0 again this week in the handicapping contest I'm in. So
nice.
as of right now, now I lost a couple of games last week because I went 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
But I had my second 5-0 week in 3 weeks. Now, mind you, I hadn't had a 5-0 week in at least 5 years.
It's been a while.
That's what Stain said too. It's been a while since I've led some. But 2 of the last 3 weeks, I had 5 wins. Over the last 5 weeks, I'm 18-7. So I'm not giving out any more NFL picks the rest of this year because right around this time, I stopped giving picks just because I just forget to do them or I cancel a Thursday show. Fuck you guys. I'm trying to win a championship and some money. So as of right now, where's it at here? No, not the weekly pick distribution. I am 5.5 out of first. 5.5 points.
Okay.
So I'm 31-24. I need to get to 58%. I'm at 52.
Getting there.
That's Florida Atlantic, Mickey. The Division II club national champions. not NCAA, but the one thing I say is once a bunch of those college teams down south that have club teams, if they all get together and as in mass joins the NCAA for hockey, you will see a big expansion in NCAA hockey down south because Florida plays hockey, Miami plays hockey, uh, University of Tampa, Georgia Tech, um, you know, all those schools. I can't think of all the ones down south, but there's a whole bunch of them. And some, a bunch of schools are, they play on the club level because, that's probably why Tom Herman got fired, the former FAU coach. Because AJ went to Tom Herman, he goes, you have a hockey team here? He goes, no, you don't. Yeah, you do.
Oh, wow.
But the thing, well, he didn't get fired because his team sucked ass. But
Okay.
But the thing is, because it's not under the athletics department umbrella,
Right.
it doesn't exist to him. So he had a point. So they were both right.
Right.
It's not a sanctioned sport by the athletic department in the school. It's a club sport, which is something different. So, but Eagles win 16-9. And is it me or was that game the game of who were fighting over two brain cells and they were looking to finish in third place? I mean, it just seemed like a comedy of errors all throughout the game. Now, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know how they did this, but I mean, the the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
That's true.
But Dan Campbell went for it, not one, not two, not three, but 5 times, and he went 0 for 5.
He did.
Now, here's one of the crazy stats I'm going to mention about the Eagles. If you include the penalties that occurred when the Eagles were in the tush push,
Mm-hmm.
the Eagles were only successful 1 in 6 times last night.
Yep. That was a touchdown.
So, and I guess what would be successful would be either first down or touchdown.
Right.
So, but, it was a very windy night. Now, granted, it wasn't as bad as Sunday afternoon when I had to make that trip up the Xfinity store.
Okay.
But also, Aqueduct canceled their live racing. Woodbine canceled theirs. But it's like, well, we're going to run the first couple of races first and have the jockeys end up like a scene from the Wizard of Oz where they're flying through the air because of the wind and stuff. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel good about the win, but I really don't.
I feel good about the defense. Offense, I am still on the fence.
Yeah. Well, don't sit on the fence because you'll end up with a spike or two up your ass.
I'll keep that in mind, but yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just looking at this, and you bring up the offense, and we'll get into the point about that rift that I teased earlier. I admit, and I'll give you a reason why they blamed one person in particular.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
But the thing is, the offensive line hasn't really done his job that well this year. I mean, you've had some injuries along the way. You had more injuries yesterday with Lane Johnson. We'll get into that. Saquon isn't getting the openings. I mean, we can blame the offensive line. We can blame the play calling. We can blame just anything. I mean, we can even blame Saquon. Or even the defense keying big time to stop him, because it's like one person said last night on the stream, well, how come they don't send Barkley on a sweep, but they send Tank Bigsby and he gets 17 yards?
I noticed that.
Because it's almost like he's thinking, well, he's got to do this and that. But I'm just like, just really stop, But I mean, but there is a problem with the offense. And here is I have to pull it back up, damn it. I want to share this here. This was from the game. And by the way, Brandon Graham is at the Eagles game. Is at the Sixers game tonight.
What is he?
You have to see this hat he's wearing tonight.
Okay.
Because it's Dallas week.
Love you, Brandon. That's right.
So, and yes, Pitt lost to a Division III school yesterday. We'll get into Shadeur Sanders, the Hall of Fame ballot. I don't really see anybody that's worthy of a Hall of Fame berth. There we go. Here is what they showed today or last night. Jalen Hurts has not had a play caller for for more than one full season. Now, Shane Steichen, you could argue, well, that's a season and whatever. Yeah, but the point is, he hasn't had the same play caller for 2+ seasons, or 2 or more seasons in a row. Now, Doug Peterson, he got canned. So, okay, well, Nick Sirianni, he gave up the play calling because nobody was liking his play calling and all that. Shane Steichen took over, and that full year he ended up taking the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Brian Johnson took over. Kellen Moore, experienced offensive coordinator with Dallas, and he had 1 year elsewhere before the Eagles, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Chargers.
Chargers, yeah.
And then Kevin Patullo.
Oh no, he was Dallas before the Chargers, right?
Yeah, but
okay.
he was also with the Chargers.
That's right. Year. That's right.
So then Kevin Patullo comes in. Well, he took over, and I don't know about you. I mean, we could blame him. I mean, you can blame whoever. You can blame everybody for all this BS that's going on, if you ask me.
I kind of disagree with the one in 2017.
Well, we're just looking at the Eagles more, but
I'm talking about the Eagles with Brian Daboll, because wasn't that the year after Hurts came in?
Hurts didn't get here until 2020. They were just showing. They were just making that more emphatic by looking at his college years too.
Okay.
But
I got you. Yeah, okay. I see it. Oklahoma and Alabama.
But some people have been starting stuff online that if they fire Kevin Patullo, do you try to bring in Brian Daboll? Now I'd have to look to see how he did in Alabama. How they did together in Alabama, but
right.
Lane Kiffin, he ain't coming here.
No.
He's probably going to Penn State or Florida, or I saw something where Ole Miss, the regents at Ole Miss wants to know before the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving weekend if he's going to be with Ole Miss or not. Um, and then after those 3 years, he went to Oklahoma for a year.
Right.
So, but you see there, he hasn't had. I mean, just the fact that he's gone to 2 Super Bowls with without the same play caller for 2 full seasons or more
It's amazing.
is amazing. Yeah,
It is.
yeah. Now we could blame, and we can get to the elephant in the room in a little bit as well. But I mean, some of the things, like I mentioned, Detroit going 0 for 5 on 4th down. Well, one of them was a fake punt, but it still counts that way. Eagles 1 or 6 on tush pushes if you include the penalties that happened on that play. And the one lineman, okay, yeah, he's off. The defensive lineman was offside. He was reaching over.
Right.
Taylor Steen, I think it was.
Tyler.
Tyler Steen, Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Taylor's version of Tyler Steen. He's trying to get the referee's attention by swiping at his hand. Oh, by the way, now that's a false start because you have your other hand down.
Right.
Dope. But a lot of crazy stuff here. Before we get to the elephant in the room, I'm going to ask you this.
Okay.
If I can find it.
Okay.
Right now, what do these teams have in common? The Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, I'll throw in there, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and LA Rams.
They have all been beaten. Eagles have beaten all those teams. Yep.
So basically, the Eagles hold the tiebreaker over all 5 of those teams.
Yes, they do.
So you're looking at potentially, if the only one they have left is Chicago. And remember how they were saying how tough that schedule was? And has it been tough? Yes. But the Eagles have won every single game. And 17-6 Cowboys over the Raiders. Thank you, Mickey. And by the way, we won. Even though I picked Dallas to win before the show started, I told Mike, I'm taking the Cowboys, even though I didn't put any money on it. If Dallas ends up losing this game tonight, I think because it would be a head-to-head sweep over the Cowboys, I think if my math is right, if the Eagles defeat the Cowboys next Sunday in Jerry World, I believe they clinched the division already.
Wow. That would be amazing.
Because if Dallas loses, they're 3-6-1.
Right.
So that would make them 3-7-1 after an Eagles loss. The Eagles would get to 9-2.
Oh yeah.
So let me get my pencil here.
Okay, but you're good at math.
I got my pencil. So 9-2.
I got a pen.
A 10. A 10. A fucking 10. So the worst the Eagles can do is 9-8. No, Dallas could still win at 9-7. Okay, so we're not on clinch watch. Okay. That's why you do the math, people. So we're not on clinch watch, but we'd be this close from clinching. So, but it does appear that Dallas is in control right now. Now, I did see something interesting or heard. I don't know where I saw it or where I heard it. but not sure if you heard this or not. There's a possibility that Pete Carroll could be one and done in Vegas,
Hmm.
and they're just going to promote Chip Kelly to head coach.
I haven't heard that.
Well, that's a disaster in the making.
It really is.
But then again, Chip Kelly isn't running the no-huddle offense anymore. I don't think he ran it at Ohio State either.
No, he didn't.
So I think he finally wised up. Even though it will work in college, it won't work in the pros. It works more in college because you have 100, 150, 120 players on the roster, whereas you got 53.
Makes a difference.
But yeah, so we do have that. And, we do have Cowboys up 17-6 here with 2 minutes to go. We're watching the game too. Even though this is a toilet bowl game of sorts, and that's a pass interference if there ever was one. Yep. Okay. See, even though I want the Cowboys to lose, I can objectively say DPI. And by the way, that DPI on Rock Yassin in the final 2 minutes, we're in the same boat here, believe it or not. I mean, and I don't tell Mike to go against me with things, we're not going to be like the Screaming A. Smith show or whatever shows on ESPN in the mornings.
We're not.
No.
Oh, man.
Because we're going to be intellectuals.
Oh, okay.
Or at least I pretend to be. But if you watch that replay, and we saw it a few times, and even Chris Collinsworth said about the ref. Now, there's a guy who should be fined and suspended.
He did say that.
He didn't say exactly like that, but he was criticizing the official. Yeah. Whereas Tom Brady could not do that because he is Raiders ownership.
Yeah.
But that was a phantom call, if there ever was one. And if you're going to call pass interference on that play, it should have been on A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Because he does push off.
He did.
So, but, hey.
But you know how the NFL likes to do makeup calls?
Uh-huh. Yeah, because there was a call earlier in the quarter or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Meanwhile, Denver's saying, where the fuck was this from Javonte Williams in his years at Denver? But here we go.
Right.
I know. Yeah, that was Javonte Williams. Okay. But,
Ooh, that was kind of close.
But the one thing is, as well, and I saw this right away in the second half, because I did notice it in the first half. I saw it in the second half, and when we were on the actual, me, not you.
Okay.
He was doing his Teddy Two Gloves impression. He was wearing a glove on his right hand. Now, he could have worn just on the left hand and been Michael Jackson.
I was just thinking about that.
But I don't know if there was an injury. I don't know if there was an injury or there was something going on. Because it wasn't that cold here in Philly.
No, it wasn't.
It was in the 40s.
Yeah.
And the guy who was the Lions fan on the show, chairman of the board, he pops up in here every once in a while. He said it was the first time he wore a glove in a game since the Packers game last year in Green Bay.
Really?
And the other time he wore it in 2020 when he had a thumb injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if there's some sort of a hand or...
Possible.
Because remember, these are performance enhancing equipment, these gloves.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they catch balls like they do with like 3 fingers, like
right. Yeah.
Like OBJ and all that. So, but But there was and chairman of the board was saying, take off the glove, take off the glove. I don't think having the glove on or off matter. And by the way, we have another Dallas touchdown. And we get a penalty there for unsportsmanlike conduct. But why are you waving goodbye? Most of the fans are probably yours anyway, you dumb. But what was I saying before I got rudely interrupted? Gee, thanks. I don't care if.
Oh, the gloves.
I don't care if he had the glove on or glove off.
Mm-hmm.
He was having a bad game no matter what.
He was.
But he's not usually one that wears gloves. So once I caught that, I mentioned, I was like, it does. You see he's wearing glove. Did he wear a glove in the first half? I didn't notice. But I did find a video of the touchdown pass that he had. And he ended up, he did have the glove on the whole game. So.
He did? Okay.
So I don't know if it's because it's under 50 or whatever. But we also mentioned that, a Super Bowl champion did wear a glove to throw the ball within the last 10 to 15 years.
Who was that?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton had a glove on?
At the end of his career with Denver, yeah.
Wow.
Because he had the neck injury. And
right.
He had, I think it was a blood flow issue, so he would wear the glove.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can throw a glove. I mean, you can throw with the glove. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's done it for years. But, it's just, I just don't, it just seemed a little weird because it wasn't that cold out.
It really wasn't.
But
I'll send this for your consideration. Oh, wait.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
The Eagles' offense. This just popped in my mind about 5 seconds ago. Okay. Predictable.
That could be it too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Between the running and the passing is predictable. They don't have any people in motion or just trying to do something different to make the defense think. This line up here, line up here. If I see you there and I see Saquon there, what am I going to do? I'm going to key on Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I see him back there, I see you in a shotgun, I'm going to key on you.
Yeah.
Move someone. Do what's that word that sometimes the quarterbacks do in some games? Play action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It works. We just saw it. Saw it in this game.
Not only play action, RPO.
Yeah, they don't do that.
And I think somebody said this, and I don't know where. Of course.
Oh, sorry about the screen, by the way.
But somebody did say that somewhere along the way, they're not calling the design runs for Jalen Hurts as much.
Right.
And that may be part of the reason why as well.
It could be. They also said, I also heard on the broadcast that they think the Eagles are waiting until the playoffs start before they start calling those design runs. They're trying to save it for the playoffs.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because also, if you remember, I said before the playoffs started about the Dodgers. Once they flip that switch on.
You did say that. Yeah. And you were right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are the Eagles going to be that type of team or once they flip the switch?
I don't know if there's a flip to switch. This just may be our offense.
True.
So.
It needs diversity.
And then also, Lane Johnson's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Did they put him on the IR already?
If they didn't put him on IR, they will be.
Okay.
He's got a Liz Frank injury on his foot. Now, I did read into this today because it might have been on Crossing Broad, because I'm going to mention Crossing Broad in a moment here, because that's where I got the video from. That's where the video is that I'm going to play. I think I think the video is on this article. If not, then I'll just have to wing what they said. But they said the Liz Frank injury is like right around the area where the toes connect to the foot, that area.
Ooh.
And if there's a fracture in that area, the season is over.
Yeah.
But if it's just the ligament or the tendon, or I'm not an anatomy guy, I mean, the only anatomy I'm worried about is end. But but as long as bone is not involved, well, they also, what Confucius also said, one per coco. Woman virginity, one per coco. But that's a penalty.
They didn't call it?
The chick didn't call it. Damn it, woman! But if it's just tendon or muscle or whatever you want to call it down there in the foot region, as long as it's not bone related, he can come back in 4 to 6 weeks. But he's got to be not putting pressure on the foot most of the time.
Gotcha.
So that's that with that, and I don't know if this is something that's the same thing as what he suffered last Monday night, or if it's something separate. Probably the same, but who knows? But either way, he was hobbling off the field again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Probably a macho thing where it's like, no, I am not getting on that fucking cart. There's a Trey Tucker over the catch, helping my fantasy team, even though I won.
Okay.
But, so the offensive line could be in trouble. Because Cam Jurgens, he's like Jurgens lotion. After a while, you just run out.
Yeah, he's hurt too.
So that may be another reason why that the tush push hasn't been working, or wasn't working last week or last night. And also, I found this out this morning. There may be a rift in the locker room. He's got a boner. I got that sound drop. Hey, look, he's got a boner. But there's a rift. Now, we all know Derek Gunn.
Yeah.
Even though he's no longer with NBC Sports Philly.
Who's he with? Just wondering.
Let me see here. He's been doing a show online, I believe.
Okay.
But it's a show with Seth Joyner.
Okay.
But I'm just going to play this clip here. And this is... Let me share my screen first, then I can share this. So they're talking about everything that's going on in the locker room. And, everybody's saying A.J. Brown, A.J. Brown. Maybe A.J. Brown is, maybe this is paralleling T.O. and Donovan McNabb. It may be paralleling somebody else, which Derek Gunn's going to mention here right now.
Okay.
Just make sure we can see that. Okay.
There's a lot of people in that organization that are frustrated with the quarterback situation right now, but the quarterback understands he has them over a barrel. This is almost Carson Wentz part two. They're not going to eat this kind of money yet. There's no way they're going to eat this kind of money. Look at the cap hit they took when they got rid of Carson, and look, it took them a couple of years, to get back on solid ground again, footing, because they were handcuffed financially because of what they owed in the cap hit they took with Carson Wentz. You get the same scenario here with a bigger volume of money involved here. I'm telling you, there's a lot.
So now, if Derek Gunn is saying that, there's something going on.
Right.
But even if, let's say it's not Jalen Hurts that's the issue. But the thing is, he's 16 touchdown passes and 1 interception this year.
Yes, he is.
And he's going for Big Dick Nick's 27-2.
Yes, he is.
And if Derek Gunn is saying that, then there's something going on. We know that. This isn't Elliott Shore Parks or some guy on some hack stream like mine. This isn't me making stuff up. But even if I do make something up like this, I'm going to warn you I have no intel.
Right.
I will warn you that most of the time. But like I always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's something going on. Now, I don't know if it's something that we need to keep an eye on 24/7, 365 or whatever, but I think in some regards it gets spoiled that you actually have a Super Bowl ring now. I just think that maybe you have to realize that, every year's a new year and you're in a whole new system now and all that. And, unfortunately, your offensive coordinators are younger offensive coordinators. So if they do an excellent job, they're out of here to a head coaching job.
Yeah.
Or if they do a shit job, they're out of here because they suck, a.k.a. Brian Johnson.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there something going on in that locker room? Yeah. But could A.J. Brown be at least somewhat involved in any of this shit? Yeah. But, I think a lot of people are unhappy because of the fact that, we put up all these points last year. We put up 55 in the NFC Championship game. We scored 40 in the Super Bowl. And excuse me, I'm not whipping anything out other than my belt. But you know what we saw in February? Belt to ass.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And I'm going to regret that because when I get up, my pants are probably going to fall down.
But you just said it earlier, though. You just said a few minutes ago. Each season is different.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the one concept from last season and this season?
Defense.
Winning.
Mm-hmm. That too.
And defense. They're still winning.
Mm-hmm.
Winning ugly, not winning. And one thing we did say, regardless if Jalen gets 300 yards or 3 yards,
Mm-hmm.
if they win the game,
yeah, that's how I am.
Herman Edwards, you play to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Al Davis, just win, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Parks, go on win. Joe Q, man.
Cleveland Browns. There's no W in our team now. We're now the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
But I'm not down there at the NovaCare complex since I'm doing my real job during the day. Is there something going on? Yeah. And can they hide it for the most part when they're in the lot, and when the media is available, when the media is made available to the team, they're hiding it. Then they are. But there's always somebody, even if it's Brandon Graham. I'm not saying it was him. It could be anybody. But I think it's more a veteran. They'll say, don't say who it is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's saying, the whole offense is it's one big shit show.
You think this can come back and bite them if they don't get this straight?
I'm hoping it doesn't bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling it will.
Yeah.
Because, but you do have coming up for the Eagles in terms of the schedule for the rest of the way. It kind of eases up a little bit, but not really. You got Dallas this weekend. Then you have Chicago on Black Friday. And if the Eagles aren't wearing their all black uniforms on Black Friday, we fucking riot.
Yeah, that's what they need to wear, them black uniforms, right?
Since you didn't wear them against the Giants because, we have to break tradition of sending the Giants to a funeral every year. So, we have to wear our Kelly greens.
Right.
Then they have the Chargers who may be reeling because Joe Alt's out for the year.
Yeah.
Then you got these Vegas Raiders. Now, this finish isn't as bad as what we thought in the beginning.
That's true.
Washington weeks 16 and 18 with Buffalo in the middle. So you're looking at, you still got tough games. Dallas, throw the records out the window, whatever the saying is.
Yeah, it's NFC East game, yeah.
Chicago, we're going to be relentless on Caleb Williams. Because he paints his fingers. Captain Urban is here. Welcome aboard. He's our newest follower to the show.
Okay.
Or to the channel, I should say, not just the show, because I'm planning on using this for other things too, besides talking sports here. So,
okay.
So, is there an issue? Yes. Is it fixable? I hope so. But I'll tell you one thing. If Big Dom gets involved, he's not going to take any shit from anybody.
Nope.
Not even A.J. Brown, because I think he will beat the living shit out of him. But on top of that, I think they also said that they had a little discussion this week, A.J., Big Dom, and Jeffrey Lurie.
Okay.
And they're all on the same page. And we said this, I think you agreed with me, I'm not sure. A.J. Brown kind of hijacked the whole game plan this week.
Yeah.
At least it seemed like that to me.
It did.
Because of the fact that he was getting the ball early and often. It was like, all right, let's shut this motherfucker up.
Yeah. Satisfy his ego. Here, AJ.
Yeah. So,
here, AJ. Here.
You do what you have to do.
That's true.
But it's a matter of this week with Dallas. And, the thing is with Dallas, in a way, let me look at their schedule, not for who they have coming up, but just for the fact that the points that they scored. Yeah, they gave up 37 to the Giants in week 2. They gave up 31 to the Bears. They played that epic 40-40 tie.
Yep.
They gave up 22 to the Jets. They lost to Carolina by giving up 30. They beat Washington 44-22. They gave up 44 to Denver, who hasn't scored 44 points since, I don't think.
Nope.
They gave up 27 to Arizona on Monday Night Football. And, they gave up 9 points tonight, but look at the Raiders. So, aside from that week 1 game where they only gave up 24 points, I think the Eagles could come out of this with a 30, 35, 40-point game like against the second Giants game.
Clean your palate game, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, all I will say is that game better be over for the most part by 7:15, even though game's 4:25.
Right.
And here I go trying to open another tab, which I don't want to do because I already have 15 million tabs going here. Because we have playoff football this weekend. Not football as an American, but football. Because this Sunday,
Union play Sunday?
next Sunday, yeah.
Do they?
Let me find this here. Because they had the week off this week.
Right.
Because of the whole World Cup qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
So they allowed all the teams. I mean, none of the leagues were playing this week. But Sunday, 7:45. Okay, 7:45. Good. The Union hosts New York City FC.
Can't be over there.
So, but I might have to watch. I might have to be triple boxed here, or quadruple box. Maybe even the octo box.
Not the octo box.
Because we might want to watch that first game at 5:00 because FC Cincinnati hosts Inter Miami.
Right. Oh,
Messi. And we want to see Messi lose in a messy way.
Right.
Play on words.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
But then San Diego FC plays Minnesota FC on Monday night. The Whitecaps of Vancouver play LAFC Saturday night. So that's everything there. But hopefully that game's over quickly.
Yeah.
Because I can. Well, actually, I work on Sunday.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, 7:30 comes around. I come over here to this position because I have the work computers over here. And oh, by the way, we have breaking news. Your team, your town, your Philadelphia 76ers came back to win 110-108.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is breaking news.
Now, the Clippers are 4-10 on the year now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
From what I saw, the Clippers were a 4.5-point dog.
Okay.
But that's more because of Embiid being hurt, not knowing what you're going to get from Paul George, all the different things that were going on with the Sixers right now. Because it's all about, Tyrese Maxey, who ended up with 29 points tonight from what I can see on the big TV there.
Okay.
And congratulations to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They won the Cup de Gris, or the Grey Cup, or something like that. They won 25-17, and they're trying to change the rules around with the CFL.
Are they?
I think you know how, and we're not political, so just to let Captain Urban know, we don't talk politics on here, but we're going to do a parallel here. Now, when Trump said he wanted to make Canada the 51st state, even though it would be 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, because you have 10 provinces and 3 territories, I think now, because they turned the Northwest Territories into Northwest Territories and Nunavut. But I think what's going to happen, I think the NFL in some way, shape, and form is going to annex some Canadian cities into the NFL.
Interesting.
Now, I can only see 2 places they can go right now.
Right.
That's Vancouver.
Yeah.
Because they got a retractable roof stadium.
Right.
in Montreal, depending on what the roof situation is there when they're done those renovations.
Okay.
Because if you remember last year after the hurricane hit Tampa, the Tampa Bay Rays, a lot of people were saying, just go to Montreal early because you're
Right.
going to go there eventually and move there.
Right.
Well, they couldn't go to Montreal because they started renovations on Olympic Stadium. So I don't know if I don't know if they're building. I don't know if they're have it as a roof or an open stadium. But if it's a stadium with a roof,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you could host football there.
Yes, you could.
Now, I mean, Vancouver, you can get away with an open air stadium because it's right on the Pacific Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you get those days like Seattle where you get the weird snowstorm every once in a while. Like, yeah, the couple of Monday night games that were in the snow there in
Right.
Seattle. But yeah, it's kind of like in the UK. It's like you don't realize how far up latitude wise the UK is
Mm-hmm.
because they're like 10 degrees higher than where we are in the United States in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So you think, well, 50th, the 50th latitude, I may be confusing latitude and longitude. If I'm messing up, so be it. Just play along. If they're would, and you know, now we're going to get into weather. Traffic and weather together in the 2s and 8s. Yeah, breaking news. We're talking weather.
Good one. Good one.
The ocean currents that are in that portion of Europe in the northern Atlantic,
Mm-hmm.
those currents warm up the UK and Ireland.
Oh.
So that's why they don't get much in the way of snow, even though they're closer to the North Pole than we are.
Right.
Kind of like how the West Coast, even though the ocean's colder, they never get rain in the summertime.
They sure don't.
But it did rain in Southern California because did you see USC was playing in the rain on Saturday?
I did not see that.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, Mickey loves you.
He's an asshole.
Oh, I see why he got that 15-yard penalty. He did with the Detroit Jameson Williams.
You did, yeah, yeah.
He said he wanted to hump the.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forget where I was now. Damn it! Thank you, Mickey.
You were talking about the weather, latitude and longitude.
Yeah.
Why it didn't it doesn't rain in the West Coast because of.
I mean, it's just
yeah
the way things are.
Yeah.
And all that, but
you want a weather segment, yeah.
Yeah. So even though Vancouver is further up, further north from where we were sighting, you know, they still get rain up until May or June, and then it gets dry for a couple months. But
I'd be interested in having two teams from CFL come down, you know, be part of the NFL.
well, not necessarily that, but I would think if you're going to do that, you might bait and switch or whatever, and you know, all right, the CFL folds. Well, we're taking over Canada. Kind of like how some orange guy wants to make Canada the 51st state.
Yeah.
But it'd be 51 through 60 or
It would be.
63, whatever, but that's just me. So I don't know about you, but you know,
Yeah, I could see it. Be interesting.
yeah.
I mean, because we're already expanding to what we play in Brazil, we play in what's the last place we played? London.
Played in Spain
We
yesterday.
played in Spain, yeah. So it's like we're you know we are expanding, so I can see that.
We played in Germany.
Yeah, that's right. We did play in Germany, yeah.
Germany, UK,
Right.
Spain,
Brazil. Yeah.
and next year,
Oh wait, Mexico too. Do we play Mexico?
not this year.
Gotcha. Okay. And next year what?
Next year, the Rams are going to be playing in Australia.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well,
I
I don't know
see
how
it.
that's going to work, but in terms of the scheduling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because of the time difference in that. Yeah.
Well, not only that, it's traveling, what, 16 hours to get there?
Hmm.
Mickey wants to know, how come the Phillies cannot put a roof there on the baseball stadium? Because we're men. No, seriously, that's the way the ballpark was made.
That's all. Yeah.
And baseball is meant to be played outdoors for the most part.
It really is.
And the way baseball is, it's kind of like your growing seasons with, with the farms or trees or whatever. It starts blooming at the start of the baseball season, and then at the end of the season you have all the trees and changing colors, and in some cases plants and other shit are dying.
That's what baseball happens.
So
October, November.
I kind of said that in my literature baseball class. It's like why baseball is a great sport. I came up with this bullshit essay that actually worked. But then again, I also did in my master's program. I also successfully argued the movie Caddyshack.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
But anyways, now I will say this: I'm not a pussy. I may not have a horse dick, but I will tell you, also eligible will be live Saturday morning. And if you missed that show on Saturday, we had an epic day. 5 races, 4 winners. I gave out a winner that paid $15. And then the next race, because I said, fuck it, I gave you guys a $21 winner. And then on top of that, if you wanted to play the late pick 3 at Churchill Downs, because of this new wave of wagers in horse racing where we're going to make it that normally 50-cent pick 3, we're going to make it as a $3 pick 3. If you played that $3 pick 3 ice cold, just like Dave Weaver does with his ice cold exactas, that ice cold pick 3 would have gotten you almost $1,300 in return. Now, did I play it? No, because I'm broke. But I will say this. I have no clue what I'm going to be doing this weekend with the horses, but it's going to be a quicker show because I have to work on Saturday. But whatever I'm going to be looking at, maybe New York, maybe Aqueduct, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But so we'll get to that on Saturday, beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, on most of these same channels, not my Twitch. I don't know why I don't do it on my Twitch, but I don't. Mickey says, I think if the Mariners go to Phillies for a baseball game, it rains, the Mariners win. No. We got to play 2 the next game.
That's right.
Play dose.
Yes.
Now, I do have some news from the A.J. Johnson stables as well.
Okay.
Because a couple of his horses are running this weekend. First, Keepsake Box, who ran at Churchill, and ironically was my reference to when I was at the Xfinity store last week, because I told the girl, I said, I got to look at something here real quick. Hold on. She asked me, do you remember you here? I was like, I know it was last month.
Right.
Well, I said, you're gonna laugh when you hear this, but my buddy has a horse. It ran at Gulfstream that day, and I told the guy who was waiting on me, don't mind me if I start yelling at my phone or not pay attention to you and pay attention to the phone because this horse was running.
Mhm.
Here, it was October 25th. I was last there, and that's when Keepsake Box ran. She will be running in a maiden special weight. It is going somewhere. A mile and 16th on the all-weather track. So basically what that means is there's 3 different surfaces at Gulfstream Park. The outer one is the main dirt track. The inner one of the 3 is the turf course.
Okay.
This middle course, which used to be turf, but they changed it to all-weather, in the event that a race gets rained off the turf, they will move that race to the all-weather surface, and most of the horses that run on the turf will still run on the all-weather. So basically, the all-weather surface is a bit of a neutralizer. There's no advantage of turf runner versus dirt runner.
Right.
So she ran okay in the last race. It was just that she was wide all the way around. But she will get a second chance here. And she's also with a trainer that is Mr. Florida. What do they call Pitbull? Mr. International, I think.
Something like that.
Well, Safi Joseph is Mr. Gulfstream Park. He wins all year round in Florida, not just when the top connections winter there. So, but Keepsake Box running in a maiden special weight at Gulfstream Park.
Okay.
Now, but wait, there's more. Impractical. That was a horse that did not like the mud one bit. The mud, the slop at Keeneland last time out. Now, AJ says, according to this, Impractical has been training like a champ, and he's back this upcoming Sunday at Churchill Downs attempting to break his maiden. He will be running in the finale on Sunday. Of course, I got to do it versus the fucking Eagles game. He'll be going 6.5 furlongs on the main track. And since I have Churchill Downs on my weather app here, as of Sunday, as of right now, I should say, sunny Saturday and Sunday. So right now, we could see what this horse can do because not only didn't like the turf, didn't like the slop, he also got caught up having to check real hard on the final turn where he just finished at the back of the pack. So he'll be running on Sunday. No word on his other horse that ran the town. And AJ tagged me in a post just as I'm talking about him. Must have been reading my mind. So he posted here, and here's what he said. And I might as well share this too. Fuck it, because it's going to end up on my timeline in about 20 seconds here. So, stable is currently at 5 horses. He's got 3 that have made it to the races. He's got a horse that's trained by Bob Baffert, Steal the Moment, and he's got a yearling right now. I think that's the correct term. Out of a Puka mare, and Puka has had Triple Crown winning horses. Mage won the Kentucky Derby. I think Dornock was the other horse that won the Belmont. So he's asking, stable currently 5 horses. A dozen seems like such a better number. Schoolyard Superman, yes or no? I'll pretend I'll pretend to be the horse racing expert. I need to see the sire and dam, and if available, who the trainer will be. You know, like for example, in practical,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the trainer that is on, well, let's add that to my profile so everybody can see that who's Facebook friends with me. Let me get rid of some of these tabs here. Yeah, so, you know, I want to see who the sire is, who the mother and father are, for those that don't know what a sire or a dam is. You know, she may be a squirter like Hoover Dam, who knows? But you know. Oh, I know what it was. The trainer is, I don't need that anymore. So let me go to, in practical, his trainer is, um, oh, it doesn't say what the trainer's on here, but the trainer that is on here, whoever he is, let me find it here. Heath. Damn it. Now I got to pull up X because I followed this guy because he's connected with Bleach Brothers now, even though he's like, who the fuck is Bleach Brothers? Destin Heath. And this is what I said when I first saw this with, you know, I said this to AJ about Destin Heath.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I said. You know.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Right.
I said, who the fuck is that guy?
Right.
And don't you know, right before Impractical's first start, coincidentally, not done on purpose,
Right.
Jason Beam interviewed Destin Heath.
Oh, wow.
But he's more of a behind-the-scenes trainer than he is an actual racehorse trainer.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like 4 for 50 this calendar year, and the 4 wins were at Belterra Park, because it changed to Belterra Park when they remodeled the track. You know, I'm just like, you know, I'm like, Destin Heath.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Now, what may happen with this horse, so let's say Impractical wins by 6 or 7 lengths on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
If that were to happen, and he's going to go onto the Kentucky Derby Trail, it's possible that another trainer takes over.
Oh.
So to look like he changed barns,
Right.
which technically he would because, you know, different trainer looking after him, but,
Right.
you know, it'll just be same ownership, just it'll look like a different thing. But like, for example, the town, and I think you saw that race. I think I showed you that race.
I think you did.
He came from last to finish second. It's like, where the fuck did he come?
Yeah.
So, so we think he can go 2 turns. That horse is the same ownership group, but it's trained by Brad Cox, who's one of the top trainers in the country. So, like I said, Destin Heath.
Who the fuck is that guy?
And I have secured the fact that he will never be on Bleacher Brothers thanks to me and my sick sense of humor. So, AJ, I gotta say it right now.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be kind of like this one time back when I was a kid, many moons ago.
Okay.
Trying to recruit people for the Daily News.
Mm-hmm.
And then one guy answers, he goes, "You're the kid that keeps hitting my awning with snowballs." I don't know what you're talking about. As I'm walking away, yeah, it was me. See, the thing is, you got bored in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only two things I could do. Let's see how far I can throw it.
Right?
And let's see from my old house, let's see if I can hit the stop sign. Well, it's like Mitch Williams with the stop sign. It's like,
Oh, yeah. I know that distance. That's a nice little distance. Okay.
I mean, it was about 7,500 feet, but
Okay.
yeah, but I would throw, I mean, but to the middle of the block, that was about 400,
That
300.
is from where you used to live at to,
Yeah.
to the stop sign? Yeah, I can see that. Oh, okay.
But anyway, so it's 31-9 right now. Is that another touchdown?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. Shows how much I'm paying attention to the game. Mike's paying like this much more attention to the game than I am. But now, I'm not sure if you saw this or saw the incident, but Jamar Chase got suspended by the NFL today.
I did see it.
Did you see the actual spit flying?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So he got suspended 1 game for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Now, here's the thing that I will say. It's the same as if I go walking up that street there. And that's, what the fuck's the name of that street?
What's that, Sanger?
No, that's not Sanger.
Oh.
Sanger's the old house.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, I'm drawing a blank on the street here, so I'm going to pull up Google Maps here because why the fuck not? Where am I at here? Lansing Street.
Oh, yeah. That is Lansing.
So the thing is, you can walk up Lansing Street here,
Mm-hmm.
and I guarantee you that you're being recorded by about 20 cameras, whether they're right there for you to see or they're hidden.
Right.
You're being recorded no matter what. But the one thing we found out with the NFL is there's cameras everywhere.
Yes, there is.
Now, we know from week 1, some guy who says, "Here we go." Actually, I think he said that before he spit on Jalen Carter. Here we go. And you can blame the Eagle for being hurt because if he didn't get hurt, he wouldn't have been. But we're going to bring that into play in a second here. But Jamar Chase got a game, and rightfully so. Now, the refs didn't see it at first. I guess they were too busy doing other things, and Jamar Chase was annoyed by Jalen Ramsey all day, from what I heard and saw.
They were talking about that after the game.
But
they were both drawing back and forth.
So he was suspended 1 game without pay for spitting on Jalen Ramsey, the league announced today, earlier this afternoon. He's appealing the suspension. Good luck with that. A source told Adam Schefter. Appeal is going to be heard by Derek Brooks, Roman Foster, or Jordy Nelson. The hearing officers jointly appointed by the NFL and the NFL Players Association. Now, we were talking this before the show started, and I'm going to say this as well because I've said it quite a few times when we had something that involved unions, labor, or anything like that. And this is stuff that you'll get on my show and probably won't get on any other show on Bleacher Brothers. The one thing is with union law and, the way the whole grievance process works and discipline and all that, if Jamar Chase got 2 games for that spitting incident, he better hop 2 loogies to get 2 games, because if he just did 1 like we think he did, I'm going to say think because, we don't know everything that happened, at least on camera that we know of, but Jamar Chase did give a nice juicy one to him, and we'll talk about Jalen Ramsey in a second, but if the NFL said, well, you're getting 2 games, well, it better be because of spitting and something else he did, and state that, because you had a spitting incident already on opening night when, here we go.
Yep.
started it.
Yes, he did.
Mickey's giving me more shit. You live on a fucking street and don't know what the street name is. Well, Mickey, that isn't the street that I live on. It's not the street that I live on. Actually, the street that I live on is actually the way I'm facing in this room towards.
Yep.
So,
but my back is.
But you don't get the bearings on this because of the way that the camera is. But, the street next to me, out the window here, that runs pretty much parallel to this building, but not really. That street is pretty big street.
It is.
I mean, and I'm not saying because of the name. I'm just saying it's a busy street, especially during the day. At night, you get nothing. Once midnight comes around, Mickey, don't worry about it, but but the street that dead ends into this street here outside my window. Sometimes I forget what it is because I'm starting to think presidential names and stuff. But Lansing, it's more of a, it's more like a capital city, like is the capital of Michigan. But Pork Chop is here. Welcome in. Oops, meant to do that, and he put his emoji in there.
Pork Chop, what's up, buddy?
So, but, like most of these streets I know, it's just that I was drawing a blank on this street. I mean, I've mentioned it before in the past, but, it happens. But, let's see. Oh, wait. We'll get back to the Jamar Chase thing. I do have an update here on this horse that I showed you guys. Let me see here. Let's go here. So the gray horse that I showed you guys, it is a Practical Joke sired horse out of a Tis Legal mare. So I got to do some. Okay, so none of Tis Legal's horses ran yet, but Practical Joke. Yeah, this horse should get a route of ground here and could be in there. Was born March 3rd, 2023, so it's a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a gray or roan colt, which means he still has his testicles. Or as they call them south of the border, huevos. So, so he's had horses that's won grade 1 races there. So, so that is that horse I showed you, which was I don't think is named yet. Let's see here. Yes, hopefully he can be named Practically Legal. Look at me, I'm even suggesting names even though it probably already has a name. Because the thing is also as well with the horse names, you can reserve names. So let's say you have a non-dirty name, because I'd be coming up with dirty names left and right, like Dean Goldberry.
Right.
So I did show that on Thursday. Because whenever the best part about voting from home and mailing it in, Dean Goldberry.
Got it.
Or the one name where I think I showed I don't know if I showed the video or not. He goes, "Can you call so and so?" The Walmart guy, Walmart or Lowe's guy, whatever it was, he was wearing blue. He goes, I can't do that. Come on, that's his real name. But you could go to this guy to make him do it.
Wow.
So, but going back to Jamar Chase here, as we had that update there. Okay, so yeah, so that there's little side stuff that's going on there. So AJ's got more horses in the stable and all that. So
Okay.
he's getting addicted.
Okay.
So Chase is going to Jamar Chase is appealing his suspension for spitting, but he's not going to win this case because we have precedent with Jalen Carter.
That's right.
He's spitting back at, here we go.
Yep, that's right.
Dak Prescott, and he got one game, which was time served because he didn't even play a snap because he barely walked onto the field, and Dak was starting to shit because Brett Van Sumeren tore his something or other, or tore his patella, I think it was. But whatever it was, he's out for the year. But
right.
So if the suspension is upheld, which it should, I'm not saying that as in anything other than
Got one of those.
no, AJ was asking, is that a yes? I said, si, senor. So he will be, so Jamar.
Thing I understand with Jamar Chase, they interviewed him and he said, no, I didn't spit on him.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And one particular camera where they showed on TV, it actually had a close-up and you could see him spitting on Ramsey and why Ramsey acted the way he acted.
Yeah.
Come on, Jamar. Come on.
Yeah. So the video from Cincinnati's WXIX TV showed Chase clearly spitting in Ramsey's direction. So it wasn't Pittsburgh that did it. It was his own news station.
Right.
His own local market that outed him. So he's if the suspension is upheld, he loses about $500,000, $448,000 for a weekly paycheck plus the $58,823 per game active bonus he would be forfeiting.
Well, do the crime and do the time.
Well, that was important matters there, Mickey, because he was asking me if I'm doing my show. I said, well, I am, but do I need to link you here? So the thing is, I would just basically have to AJ is on there as the
AJ, hey buddy.
I don't have a now Mickey will tell you this.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
We don't know what the fuck we're doing. But Mickey will also tell you
he's an asshole.
I can't help it. I am. But I'm going to say right now, and I don't have it on here, but I think we need to hear this with your name or the name of your group on there. We need to hear that.
Yep.
So I say bye, 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 bye. You know, kind of like Kramer from CNBC. Bye, 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 bye. Sow, 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 sow. I say bye. And hopefully I'm not the sway vote here, because if I'm the sway vote here, you know, he would be saying, I should have gave it to Portnoy. David Portnoy.
Mm-hmm.
Because Portnoy only buys Greyer Roan horses.
Okay.
And there was an incident. Well, Portnoy is, but you know, at least I admit I'm an asshole. And by the way, my guy gets a touchdown.
Look at you.
And oh yeah, that's a horse. Okay. But Mickey gives a shit, and we don't mind. But and also those watching on my Twitch channel, Joe Quills, twitch.tv/Joe Quills, you can subscribe to the show as well. And I probably should have clipped that scene from Thursday when SJ gifted out 5 stubs.
Yes, she did.
I mean, it was almost like seeing bare tits for the first time in your life. It's like, oh, what do I do? Because Mike was basically the same thing, but at home watching. He was like, she did what?
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I will tell you this when you come on to my show, my screen, because yeah, I do both Bleacher Brothers and mine at the same time, except for Also Wells, but I don't know why I do it like I do, but I do. So, but if you go to twitch.tv/Joe Quills, I can make a few bucks on the side. Not much, but maybe enough that, you know, I can buy like the horse's anus. Like AJ would have the brain of the horse and the hooves. I'd have the anus. Because, you know, everything I say is shit. If you're going to pull the trigger, make sure the tarp is up so when the horse goes, nobody sees it, because that's very traumatic to all the young kids when they see.
You're on your game tonight. Oh.
Mickey, let me tell you, I missed a week of this show because of the sinuses that I had. Now, I missed Thursday a week, almost 2 weeks ago. I did also eligible, but I didn't do last Monday and Tuesday. So, because I didn't want to go to bike, and the next thing you know, I'll be like, you motherfucker, you gave me COVID. I didn't have COVID. Yes, you did, you motherfucker. Yeah. But, so I mentioned the second time somebody's been suspended, and also we do not know why the fuck you ever do a show. Because I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
He's an asshole.
That's the other reason why. And I have one question why Mickey watches.
He's an asshole.
Whoops, wrong one. Wrong one. This is what I wanted to hit.
What are you looking at, butthead?
But seriously, so Chase did finish the game against the Steelers. Jalen Ramsey actually punched him and got kicked out of the game. I mean, that's the other way you get kicked out without having the 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties is go.
Yep.
So, officials did not spot Chase's action before ejecting Ramsey. We did not see anything that rose to that level at all, according to Bill Vinovich. He was represented by Stevie Wonder.
Yep.
And Mike and AJ are smarter than you. They may be. Chase denied spitting on Ramsey, but as we know, Chase is a squirter, a mouth squirter.
A mouth squirter.
The league sided with Ramsey, but Taylor said obviously what happened is crossing the line, and we can't have that. I know he'll own up to that. But I think Jamar Chase is realizing that even when you're like the third, fourth, fifth game on the slate in terms of importance on CBS, you still got all these cameras.
Yep. That's true.
Not Super Bowl level cameras, but
No.
close enough. But Ramsey had to be restrained multiple times. And I think I'd have to restrain you, you'd have to restrain me. You know.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but he basically said, "I don't give a fuck about football after that." Respectfully, I'm always going to be all for trash talking, shit talking, stuff like that. I actually enjoyed that part of the game, and I think people know that. But as soon as he spit, I said, "Fuck that."
So he went back. He went from being a pro to an amateur, back to a pro, or did he get back to a pro? I don't know.
I think he went from pro football,
Yeah,
to a sponge,
yeah.
to WWE UFC fighter.
He did.
But I mean, I can understand losing your cool, and it's but it's both sides. It's not just Jamar Chase's side for spitting. It's also Jalen Ramsey for punching.
Well, you know what? Isn't that the one that isn't that always happen? Is always the retaliation. The second one is never the first. It's always the second.
That's what happened with Jalen Carter.
Exactly what happened to Jalen Carter. Yeah.
99 times out of 100, it's always the second person that gets caught.
Yeah.
Unless in hockey, because they do have the instigator penalty.
Oh, okay.
But and Trey Tucker there, he did almost as bad as that one punt play in the second half. Remember when they had that fumble and it got batted out of bounds?
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter. Now I said that as he's trying to avoid it by going like this, trying to make himself smaller width-wise.
Right.
I said the only reason why he went for the ball was I think it grazed his hand.
Okay.
But we couldn't determine it on the video replay. I said, the only reason why he goes after that is because of the play. So, but yeah, Mickey loves the show, and he gives me and you crap. So yeah,
we know Mickey.
Yeah, we know Mickey. Yeah, he gives Tony Bruno crap. He also sexually harasses Miss Robin. All right, not exactly that, but
Okay.
But so Ramsey had to be restrained multiple times. But I don't blame him that he went after him. But I don't know when that happened in the game. So I mean, was it when the game was closer, or was it more in the garbage stages of the game?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm not sure what part of the game it happened. I just know that it happened.
Yeah, because all I know is I went to the Xfinity store, and I got there. I was like, "Oh, good, there's football on." So if I got a long wait,
right?
This isn't like sitting at the doctor's office for 2 hours waiting for your doctor to see you for 2 minutes in charge or whatever. The stable is full. Well, I'm trying to think of a joke and I can't do it right now. So the stable is full,
Oh,
and I might be making a couple of trips down to Florida. And by the way, AJ, Mike, AJ.
AJ.
But oh yeah, that's right. That's the name of the horse, Schoolyard Superman. Duh. And I give you the name. Well, actually, if you get another horse which is the same sire and dam, or for those that are watching the show, the father and the mother, the two that got it on, as um, um, Chris Farley once said in whatever movie.
Okay.
Whatever movie it was, I don't know. They got it on without the hand gesture, because
right.
But you gotta do what you do. But oh, we got a safety. Yep. But if your group, even if you just want to pass it along, even though it may be, I think you can get away with it, because I think the Jockey Club will ban the name Barely Legal.
Mm-hmm.
I think Practically Legal will be allowed, because it's a play on both horses' names,
right?
Both the sire and the dam. So
okay,
if you want to pass that on, go right ahead. And also, we did say, just want to let you know that if Declan Heath does not come on your show, I'm the blame, because I said this before, I'll say it again. When I saw who the trainer was, I said this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Now, the town, Brad Cox, I saw that, and I had and then I saw Sappy Joseph with Keepsake. I'm like, oh, this horse is going to be winning a shit ton in Florida. But there's only one thing worse than Schifferbrains. It's Claudia Schifferbrains.
Ah, we know her.
So, also, do you remember one of the clauses in James Franklin's contract when he got fired that came to light?
It was something about his whoever hires him has to buy out his expired contract, or they get compensation or something like
Besides that.
Huh?
Besides that.
Okay.
And while you say that, we've already covered that, AJ. Keepsake on Saturday and Impractical on Sunday. And the AccuGuess forecast is calling for sunny skies both Saturday and Sunday. Just let you know I'm ahead of the game. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. What's the other one? Because I just thought it was just that he's buying out his contract.
Like I said.
You did say that.
Yeah. James Franklin was not allowed to sit on his ass.
Oh, that's right.
He actually had to apply for jobs.
That's right. That's right.
And just let you know, AJ, we'll be promoting it. I'll be promoting it. I don't know why I say we, because Mike ain't going to be here on Tuesday or Thursday.
No.
It's bad enough he has to drive all the way up here on Mondays.
Yeah.
The town probably next week. And that will be even more interesting because, no, I mean, this is good stuff. And this is exactly why this show is what it is, besides my ADD and other shit. When somebody brings something up like AJ is right now, I mean, since I'm invested mentally, AJ's invested financially.
Right.
The town probably next week at Gulfstream. I'll let you know that the championship meet begins on Thanksgiving Day, I believe. because they have 4 meets throughout the year and they just run year round. That meet is when the top horses from New York, Kentucky, some of the other major meets around the country, and like some of the smaller stables, they go south to Florida, and they call it the championship meet because of the fact that, especially with the 3-year-old races, they lead to the horses ending up in Kentucky for the Derby.
Okay.
And the town, especially if you, and AJ's texting me too. Oh, he sent me pictures. Yeah, got some nice looking horses. Yeah, yeah, and just to let you know, AJ, if those gray horses do not do well, sell them to Portnoy, because Portnoy only buys. But but the thing is, the town would get a nice test because he was at not Gulfstream. He raced at Keeneland. And the October meet is still a tough meet, but it's not as championship-ish as the April meet because it's Derby Day. But but that is the start next week. Thanksgiving Day is the start of the championship meet.
Okay.
So a lot of those, yeah, it was at Keeneland. So yeah, he sent me a picture of a poop emoji. He said, "Here, this is from the portion of the horse that you own."
Gotcha.
Nah, but he had a. But yeah, it's the town is probably will run next week. Probably face some of the top maidens who are just getting started or got a couple of races in already. So we'll see what he does, and hopefully, I'm hoping next Saturday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, because I'm off. I have to work on that camera, not because of you, but because of me. Because every time I do something, it seems like you're sitting in a 6.2 earthquake. But that's me. That's
earthquake. Oh.
Who I'm trying to think of a fact check. I can't think of one off the top of my head. A fact check celebrity, but
okay.
Anyway, so.
Well, she was fat, but she's not fat anymore. Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
She lost a lot of weight.
And we can't say the mother from What's Eating Gilbert Grape because she died a couple of years ago.
Okay, you can say that.
But anyway, so James Franklin will be the next head coach of Virginia Tech.
Hokey.
And he's going to have to deal with Enter Sandman every home game. Hope he likes Metallica. I don't know if he looks like a Metallica guy, though. But and Franklin said in a statement, which was probably written by Virginia Tech staff,
okay,
I'm honored and humbled to join the Hokie family.
Yeah, that was from him.
Well, I'm in a Hokie family too, but not that Hokie. No. Anyway.
Okay.
So the vision is simple to restore and match excellence, whatever. But Franklin was originally owed a $49 million buyout after being fired from Penn State. But part of his deal with the Huskies, sources confirm, included a $9 million settlement from the Nittany Lions. So, okay. But he did have that stipulation in his contract that if he were to get fired or whatever, or he chose to quit, he had to search for jobs. He wasn't getting paid unless he actually tried for a job.
That's an interesting clause to put in the contract.
Then again, it's backward ass Penn State.
It is. That is backwards.
But
here's the other thing he doesn't have to worry about. He doesn't have to worry about being fired after the first or second year if he's not doing well.
Well, the previous coach,
Beamer, right?
Brett Pry.
Okay, before Beamer. Okay.
He went 0-3 and a 16-24 record through 4 seasons.
But that's 4 seasons.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
But he had because he started at Vanderbilt, then went to Penn State. You can tell that I didn't print this article up because I'm like going back and forth here.
Well, one thing about Frank is he does have a proven track record of winning, even though he couldn't win against, the Ohio State of Michigan, but he can.
He has a proven track record, just not against top 10 teams.
Exactly, yeah. But he doesn't have to worry about the Big Ten, anymore.
Yeah, the ACC's ass.
Yeah.
And also, I saw the 26 schedule. The non-conference schedule, one of the games is James Madison, and none of the games are impressive.
Okay.
And then even the ACC schedule and the rotation that they have, nobody of importance. I mean, the toughest game may be having to go cross country to face Cal. But other than that, it's a bunch of.
Who the fuck is that guy?
So he should be able to, build up a winning culture there.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if they play North Carolina.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't think they do.
Okay.
But, if Belichick's there next year. But he did say he's not. I think he said he's not going to the Giants, but, let's throw a little money there. So, but, I mean, okay, it's good that he got a job, blah, blah, blah. Thankfully, he's out of the Penn State hairs because, ever since the enabler, Joe Paterno, ruined everything for Penn State.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lost to UCLA and Northwestern. You were 20-point favorites in back-to-back weeks.
Yep. And you lose.
And by the way, did you see Northwestern played at Wrigley Field?
No.
Yeah, they played Michigan at Wrigley Field this weekend.
Did they lose?
They lost on a walk-off field goal.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
And I think because of the way that the stadium was configured, the winning field goal went out of the stadium.
It's good. Oh, wow. Look at it go.
Also, what is it? Wrigley Field. Because I can never get even though I've been there a couple times. Yeah, he kicked on the Sheffield Avenue, which is right field.
Okay.
So it goes from the third base side to it ran from third base out to right field to Sheffield Avenue. Now, the way that it used to be, it used to run from left field to first base. So you would be kicking the ball out onto Waveland Avenue there. But
it hits a car. Next thing you know, commercial. Jake from State Farm. Jake, I need you. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Later, AJ.
Good night, AJ.
So, but with like different things that they did with Wrigley Field back after the Bears went to Soldier Field. I think that they made the way some of the outfield stuff that they did, they couldn't fit football field in there anymore. So when they did these round of renovations, because they tried to do a football game at Wrigley back in 2010, and the configuration was unsafe, so they could only run the ball one way the entire game.
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of every play, at the end of every possession, it's like, well, they're on the third base side on the 12-yard line. So guess what? We got to go all the way down the field. It ended up being like a 6-hour game. But I didn't watch that game. But I wanted to watch that one. But it ended up being a good game. But they had their new stadiums coming up next year, Ryan Field, Ryan Field. But so now a team that's ass is fittingly the Cleveland Browns. Now, I said this on my Insta story today. I'm not going to pull it up to share, but if you want to find me on Instagram at Joe Quills, you can find it on there. It's like the third or fourth thing on there. Somebody posted, I'm guessing this was on X, that somebody took a screenshot and ended up on Instagram or whatever, but they said the haters insisted Shadeur couldn't cut it. Said he holds the ball too long and isn't very good. But today he took the field with the lead and went out there and proved all the haters right. Great call, haters. Now, my reply to this was just to get eyes on me and all that. I said, true, but let's judge him when he has a week to prepare as a starter, though he was pretty bad yesterday.
Yeah.
And we'll see how bad he is because he may be starting this weekend.
Okay.
But not only did he have a shit game on the field at Huntington Bank Field there in Cleveland, he also had a shit night when he got home because he had his home robbed.
That's too long.
Now, I said this to you ahead of time, and I said this numerous times as CeeDee Lamb couldn't catch that ball, preventing me from another touchdown, even though I don't need it to win. The last couple of years, we've seen this rash of break-ins at major athletes' homes. Some of the names that are on there over the last couple of years: Luka Doncic, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. There's a few others, but those are the ones that they cited in this article. So, as he was making his debut in the second half, so this probably would have happened even if, just coincidence he made his first action in that game.
Right.
It just happens that same day that he makes his first appearance in the NFL on the field, his house gets robbed. So, and here's the thing, I don't know, in a way, I guess the one thing I would say is don't flaunt. Don't flaunt all your wealth, but it's hard not to because you can go on certain websites on the web and you can see what they're making in a year. Oh, he's making the rookie contract for a 5th round pick, which is, I'm making a number, I may be way off. Let's, for a round number, $1 million.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, even with that $1 million plus all the endorsements, all that other shit, you could actually get perceived. Like, for example, the San Francisco wide receiver who got shot before the 24 season, he was wearing an expensive watch, whatever, and got robbed and got shot.
Yeah.
I mean, Walker Buehler got robbed leaving Santa Anita last year.
Yep, I'm telling you about that. Yeah.
So I don't think he made it to Parks this year. Good thing. But the thing is, you can prepare as much as possible, I would think. But the schedules are out there months, even a year in advance. Because think about it, baseball comes out the August before the next year. So you're getting games up to 14 months in advance.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, how many on TV they advertise all these different alarm companies? They got Ring, they got Simply Safe, they got whatever. You're making X amount of dollars. One of the things besides you having security is having some type of high-tech alarm system for your house. So if you're not going to be there, put the daggone code in. And
well, not only that, these criminals if that's the correct term here.
Malcontents,
Well, whatever.
deviants.
They're yeah, it's a good word.
Okay.
Whatever word we're deciding to use.
Okay.
Um,
Former hockey players.
yeah,
I'm done. I'm done. Okay, go ahead.
whatever they are,
Mhm.
whatever you want to call them, they're just not going there on a whim.
Exactly.
They know what's going on. Like I think the Joe Burrow case, they were casing his house for weeks.
They said that. I remember.
So
that.
not only do you have people casing this out,
Mhm.
not only do you have that, you know when they're leaving.
Yeah.
Like even with when the Phillies had to go out to LA for the September series with the Dodgers,
Mm-hmm.
somebody I follow on X actually mentioned, oh, the Phillies playing, they're having plane troubles because they're still in Philly 4 hours after they were supposed to leave. So he knows what the flight number of that private aircraft is that they.
Wow.
So, but the thing is, if you search, you can find it even accidentally.
Right.
So, okay. My Gabby here doesn't make me good. Somebody else.
Jerry looks like he's happy tonight.
Oh, he probably got a happy ending at the Spearmint Rhino or whatever the hell it is, where he had two chicks at the same time at the Bunny Ranch or whatever it is out there. I'm sure he got some action. And I still did not upload the I Want Me Some Glory Hole. Damn it. But the thing is, especially if you want to target certain athletes, when they are going to be out of town.
That's true.
I don't care how good your security system is or your security staff or family watching, house sitting, whatever it is. If they want something, they're going to come and get it.
That's true too.
And they've probably been watching you for months upon months, not just some on a whim situation, because you're going to have to know what the security system is, how we can turn it off without them knowing. All this stuff where you're going to get what you want and get out of there without getting identified, I would think.
You're probably right.
But, I mean, I think that these these athletes or whatever, they can have as much money as they want or as little money as they want. The thing is, they're still going to come for you, no matter what it is.
That's true. And that's probably there's the highs of being an athlete, and then there's, the lows, and that's one of the lows. That your schedule is always out there for anyone to see. And if somebody really wants to take something from you, they'll take it from you.
Now with the NFL, the schedule doesn't come out until May,
right?
Because we gotta tweak the schedule enough so that Aaron Rodgers can play the Jets in Week 1, and then they play Green Bay on a certain Sunday night during the middle of the season. All that stuff. So, we got to have the Eagles starting the season because they're reigning, defending Super Bowl champions.
That's right.
As Bruce Buffer would say if he were here right now, and if he were calling that like it was a UFC fight. Did you see that they had a big brawl in the fan area on the floor of the Madison Square Garden? I think it was this weekend. Yeah, apparently, the one UFC fighters crew saw this one guy. The one guy was talking shit, and they all went after him. Hey, don't talk shit.
Right. Exactly.
But you know, but you know. And by the way, is that? Let's see. Okay, it's a Google commercial. The reason why I said that is Steph Curry is no longer represented by Under Armour.
I was about to say that to y'all. I heard that on Sunday.
That's why I stopped, because I
Right.
wanted to see if there was something that we didn't know about.
Right.
But do you know why Steph Curry told Nike to go kick rocks?
You know why?
Because they didn't call him Stephen Curry, they called him Steven.
Oh. Oh. Oh, Mr. Sensitive. Okay.
Oh dear Jesus.
But
But Dallas is taking a knee.
well, did you hear about Curry's his contract on Under Armour? But they said his sneakers wasn't selling anyway. So
Well, it's Under Armour.
yeah.
I mean, I kind of like Under Armour, but lately I've been buying shoes. Last couple of years, I've been buying shoes mostly off of Temu.
Okay.
Before the tariffs hit.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying, "Oh, the tariffs and all this." I'm like, well, I buy shoes so infrequently. I can't. I could look and see what I paid last time versus this time, because I basically buy the same kind of shoe.
Right.
It's just loud and obnoxious. Because I have the orange ones. I still have those lime green ones.
Oh, you do? Okay. Okay.
So, but it is what it is. So it looks like Dallas is going to win 33-16, and that's another win for me.
Ching ching.
Ching chang chang.
Ching ching chang.
And at that point, this show has been canceled. Oh, that's not funny. And also, never ask a Chinese girl for 69, because she'll ask if you want beef or broccoli.
Oh, do. Okay.
And with that, we're officially canceled.
Yes. Now we're officially canceled.
Yeah. So, you kind of had a feeling, because, just because the Raiders are the Raiders, and the whole playing for Nealon, who killed himself. I think that's what they said. It was suicide, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you had that feeling.
Yeah, you did.
So
that's how the Saints won the Super Bowl. For what happened for the Hurricane Katrina hit there, and they were playing for the city.
Yeah.
It's like this was inevitable. They couldn't be stopped.
Yeah.
Even though they were playing against Peyton Manning.
And with that win, Dallas has won their 51st Monday night game. San Francisco has 53. The Steelers have 54. The Raiders used to be up at the top because they always won on Monday night. But for the last 15, 20 years, they haven't even played on Monday night, let alone won. But we'll see the Raiders here in mid-December. And, hopefully the Eagles will prove me wrong, because I said that was going to be a loss at the beginning of the year. But then again, I saw the Raiders as a first half team that wasn't doing shit.
Right.
And then the second half, they would get used to Pete Carroll. But I don't know. I don't know what the situation there is in Vegas in terms of how they feel about him. Does he get a second year, or does he just say, I just don't have it anymore, I'm going back to USC?
I would give him a second year, because very few teams with new coaches turn around in the first year. Very, very few teams. You need to build up that culture. So I would give him another year.
And their previous coach almost got them to the playoffs as an interim.
Pierce. Was it Pierce?
Yeah. Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
He comes back this year. He comes back for the second year, doesn't do shit. I don't even think he made it through the second year. He was gone.
Yep.
So, but but Dallas wins. So it looks like it'll be about 2 or 3 more weeks until the Eagles clinch.
Well, we will clinch.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah. So I was hoping for another meme of somebody posting, "We're safe from hearing We Done Boys this week."
You'll get it next week.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll get another Jalen Hurts head as well. And actually, the one with Jordan Love, when they show all the quarterbacks that beaten the Cowboys, because it was a tie and not a win,
Right.
which is in terms of win-loss record, half a win, half a loss.
Mhm.
They have half of a picture of Jordan Love.
That's funny. That's funny.
So, but just a reminder, also eligible Saturday 10 a.m. You know the whole deal and all that. And I guess I'm going to be covering AJ's horses race on Saturday.
Okay.
And I will be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Mike will not, because fuck him. Nah, seriously. Mike's the Monday night guy. So,
yeah.
So, and, who knows what I'll talk about. I really start figuring out second half of my shift at work. So, because, I have the 2 work computers. I have the laptop where I watch Twitch during the afternoon. And then I have the one hooked up to the TV. Mike's like, "You got too many computers. Why don't you just give me one?" But I'd rather him have a fresh computer.
Okay.
Because, as long as it's not a lemon.
No, we don't want a lemon.
Yeah. We want a lime. Because you got to put lime in the coconut.
Oh. Yes, folks. That's my best friend. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, so that's it for the show. Mike's getting the hell out of here before anything else happens. But, Mickey, no.
Oh.
Well, how about your boys, Mickey? If your quarterback didn't do shit, I wouldn't have cashed out a 5-team parlay and got $32 back for a $10 wager. I could have won my wager and not have to worry about cashing out early.
Who's his voice?
Seattle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right.
I could have had $690.
Yes, you could have.
Which could have been used at Risque or actually be bill number 1, bill number 2, bill number 3.
Yeah.
Or, I won't go there. But anyway, so Mike, thank you. And thank you everybody for joining me here tonight. And I'll be back tomorrow. We'll have some fun here and I'll throw some witty one-liners along the way as well. And Mickey will give me shit as well.
Yeah.
So, but that's it for now. Do appreciate all of you. And let's do a live tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on all these same channels. And